think that the most important time of the day are the hours between approximately 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock. This is the time that determines what sort of person we will become. Now, the reason that I have chosen this particular time is it is a time by which most everyone has already done their work for the day, has come home, has had dinner, and now has this time to decide what they're going to do with. Of course, most of us do not go to bed at 7, even though we may have finished our work and eaten at this time. And most of us do not continue working that much past the time when we've had dinner, depending on the job and its particular demands. There are other things that need to be done, of course, and there's always work to be done, especially around the house, and it seems the older you get, the more this is true. But usually at this time, most people don't have that much energy for work anyway. So we come to this time, it's late evening, the time for to close the day, going to bed, and in a certain sense, getting ready for the next day has already begun. But we have a little bit of time left, a little bit of time to decide with what to do. Now, what most people do at this time is some sort of binging activity, something that doesn't really take any energy, which makes sense. TV, social media, Facebook, all these sort of things. Yet if we could train ourselves to use this, I think we could really rediscover leisure. I think we could really rediscover hobbies, arts, talents. We could work, make beautiful things, read great books, great works of literature, poetry, better ourselves, shape ourselves in the image that we want to become. It leaves me with the sense that this is sort of the trying time. We could sort of accept a mindless consumerist end to our day, trying to enjoy the last little bit of some project, and perhaps not even really enjoy it that much. There are some TV shows, I suppose, which are very enjoyable and maybe even thought-provoking and meaningful, but I think for the most part, it's not so much that we have in mind some great show that we want to see. We just put on the TV because we want something to stare at, or open social media not because we expect to see something interesting, but for something to stare at, or open YouTube for something to stare at. Tend these last couple hours of our day to prolong the inevitable start of a new day and the return to work. I've been thinking a lot about what to do instead. Sojourner has been my 7 to 10 project. I think it would be good if all of us had a little bit of a 7 to 10 project. Perhaps we began to teach ourselves to play the guitar or learn a new language simply for the sake of it, not for its practicality, not as another work, but simply as something good to do. Hopefully you are also inspired for one of these 7 to 10 projects.